All right, so I'm gonna board a flight soon to Miami, heading to the boot camp for Grant Cardone. A couple of thoughts. I was just on a trip back home. I'm from Montreal originally. Yes, English speaking, no French accent. English is my first language, and it's funny how when you're in a certain environment for a really long time, when you go into a different environment, you feel it. And just with different circumstances and everything going on in the world, I hadn't managed to get home in almost 2 years. It was like 20 months or something like that, 22 months. And when you're in an environment like at our office in our business with YESA and Grant Cardone Canada, you have people that are constantly talking about goals and where are we going and big thinking. We're very, very strict on there's no negativity. You can't talk shit about other people. And it's amazing because you kind of get used to that and it becomes your normal. And, you know, and I started to realize when you get back into the environment with, to be frank, average people. I hope some of my family members aren't watching this. Just leading average lives, you notice like the middle class tendencies. One of the biggest ones, and I've like taken away a lot from this trip. One of the biggest ones is like gossip. And what I realized is people don't have a big game to play. No one writes their goals down. They're not aware of themselves in terms of what they want to do personally, what they want to do with their community, with their relationships, with their spirituality. I spoke to a bunch of people who are consider themselves part of a religion, and I said, well, what do you think happens when you die? And they're like, nothing, just go on the ground, that's it. No concept of a higher consciousness or anything like that, but they follow the dogma, they follow the traditions, they follow the routine. You go to this place on this day and dress up. One of my favorite comedians, George Carlin, said, you go to the place on Sunday to compare clothes. You don't actually really, do you get anything out of it? Are you working towards something? And if you're not a spiritual person, it's totally okay. But whether it's in yourself, relationship, your community, your business, like where are you going? Are you building a future? And a lot of people, they're not building a future. They're living in today and tomorrow. And when you don't have a bigger game to play, what happens is people need a game to play. Like, just understand that. If you run a business and you don't give your people games to play, that's why if you run a sales organization or business, you need to do spiffs, you need to do contests, you need to create a target, a mission. Why do companies always talk about you need a mission statement, you need a vision? Why? Because if you don't have somewhere where you're going, you don't have fun things, contests, you know what happens? You don't create games for your people, they'll create games. If you're a business owner, you've had the gossipy secretary, okay, that plays games with people, and there's like, and then you have staff members and they're doing weird, sleeping with each other. It's just all goes off the rails. But anyway, when people don't have a game to play, they create games. And that's what I noticed. It's like, and not only little games, but like small gossipy, like almost like out of a reality TV show. And people are just get stuck in that. That's why reality TV shows still exist, and they're very. That's why soap operas exist. Like, people like the drama. They love negativity. They love drama, and it's just all they know. Oh, did you hear about so and so? Oh, did you see how so and so did this? Did you see how the? It's like, okay, you're focused on other people and their flaws. What about you? Where are you going? Hey, let's elevate the conversation. And then it always goes back. It's like the tide always goes back to sea level. Actually, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know a lot about biology, but that's one of the biggest takeaways for me. And if there's anything that you're taking away from this video, is find a bigger game to play. Notice who you surround yourself with. And if you constantly hang out with 10 people who gossip and are negative and who talk shit about other people, first of all, guess what? You know what they're doing when you're not around? Yeah, that's right. Talking shit about you. Okay? So just know that. And then also understand that if there's people that are doing certain tendencies and you're in that environment for a long enough time, you're going to start to pick up those tendencies. Like to me, family isn't something to be taken for granted. It's not unconditional. Family should be earned. If you have a toxic family member or toxic friend, like, you might need to handle it or not be in that environment for long periods of time. Like over Christmas break, like people go and spend 2 weeks with their family, even though the family is like not the best environment to be in. Don't neglect family. Family is very, very, very important. Be kind to them. Don't pick fights. If you're on this level of awareness, if this video is connecting with you and you know a family member who would see this or would hear the same message and would completely disagree, don't talk about stuff on this level. They're just not, their awareness characteristics aren't at that plane, that level yet. Just keep the conversation nice. Don't upset people. Stay in touch with family. Take care of family. Be close to family. But that doesn't mean, like, so what, you're gonna give up your dreams? You're gonna poison your mind and be in an environment that isn't conducive to your goals and your success. There's a give and take, and you just need to be aware of it. And this isn't just about, I mean, it could be friends, it could be any environment, it could be the news you're watching. It's like you are a product of your environment. You're a product of things that you take in, of the people that you're around, and you need to be very, very aware of it. And if you are around a group of people like that don't gossip, that are disciplined, that talk about big goals, that don't share negative news, that don't tune into mainstream news, that are fit, that are succeeding, that are winning in business, like me and my team are, then don't take that for granted. You know, oh, you're having a bad month or a bad quarter. Like if you are around the right people, the tendency nowadays is like the greener pastures. Oh, the pasture's always greener on the other side. Like, don't take what you have for granted if you do have the right thing, and make sure that you're tending to your own lawn before you jump shit. Now, some of you are watching this saying, well, I've been thinking maybe I'm around the wrong people. And there's a couple of questions that you want to ask yourself. Am I in the right environment? Maybe do I need to get the fuck out? Just, I had to get out. I got out twice, actually. So I grew up in Montreal. I went to the mainstream university, which was great only for the things that I did outside of class, where we ran like a micro business, which is really cool. And I did co-op, and I got to work for companies. The practical part was cool. Mainstream, to run a business, to learn how to run a business and increase the revenue line of a business, mainstream university is not good. If you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a dentist, good. Get your trade, go to mainstream school, that's fine. But I digress on that. What I'm saying is that I had to get out of that environment.
Call for JetBlue, flight 1633 to JFK.
I moved to Ottawa, and then as it turned out, there are a lot of people in my environment that were negative, that were holding me back. Have you ever had someone say, oh, you work so much, why do you work so hard? Take it easy. Oh, I'm just looking out for you. Be very, very on guard, very aware for someone who says, oh, I'm a friend to you, I'm just looking out for you. That person is smiling to your face and ready to stab you in the back. Yep. Know what their true intentions are. And people, oh, I'm just looking out for you. I hope you're gonna. And then what happens is I feel down. I feel unmotivated. If you feel down, unmotivated, you have a headache, you're sick, things aren't going right in your life. You're up one day, you're down the next. Could be the people in your environment. And I challenge you. So I moved from Ottawa to Vancouver. I got away from the people, and I started to cut out. One of my favorite quotes I've been telling all my friends, my true friends, and I have I have a small, tight group that I am deeply connected with, rather than a lot of shallow. I'd rather have a small, tight group of friends than a lot of shallow relationships where people could, poison my mind. And I was telling, anyway, my close group of friends, there's a quote from a Drake song from 2 albums ago, and he was like, I've been losing friends and finding peace. And honestly, that sounds like a fair trade to me. And like, that is like the truest statement. Like, get rid of the losers, get rid of the people that are holding you back, get rid of the, I'm just looking out for you. Oh, do you really want to do that? Oh, money isn't everything. Oh, you don't have to go for big dreams and big goals. Like, oh, are you sure? I don't know, it's risky. Like, if it's a family member, handle it. Make sure you keep them so that that poison stays out while still maintaining the relationship. If it's a friend, you want the friend, oh man, he's a funny guy, he's fun to drink beers with. Do you need to be drinking beers? Do you need to be having fun, or do you need to be attaining your goals? Like, you just got to decide what you want, right? There's certain things that I had to sacrifice and give up to get to where I want. Like, a lot of people are always adding. Personal development is all about adding something. It's like, okay, good, but what do you need to give up? What do you need to get rid of? What do you need to stop doing? I need to do an 8-hour morning routine and get nothing done. Or, what do you need to get rid of that's not actually helping you? It might be some people. So, if you are watching this and you're like, okay, am I in the right environment? Just look at, first of all, how are you doing? Are you up and down, sick, not feeling good, unmotivated, motivated one day, not motivated the next? Who are you hanging around? What news are you watching? What content are you consuming? What are you putting in here? And then when it comes to your job, just look at, am I in the right vehicle? And this is hard for a lot of people, but a lot of times it's not the job, it's you. You didn't commit, you didn't put in, like, the Grant Cardone says, for every 40 hours you work at your job, you should spend 7 hours working on yourself. So did you look at the job and blame the job? Oh, the job's got to sit this and leads are bad, and oh, I didn't get this, and da 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 da. Or you look inside yourself and say, I didn't work on myself. I didn't learn how to produce a lead. I didn't take a course. I didn't invest in myself. Another bad influence, the person that's like, oh, $2,500 for the event, for the program. Oh, that's a lot of money. Like, horrible advice. You should spend, like, people, oh, invest in Bitcoin, you should be investing in you. Invest in you. If I learn something and I do a self-improvement course, or I go to a seminar, or I get on Cardone University, and I double my abilities to produce income, like, and that's for the rest of your life, by the way. So if I gain abilities, generally you don't lose them, right? It's not like muscles, we've all done that. Do the right thing for a little bit, go to the gym and lose them. When you gain ability, usually you're able to compound that for the rest of your life. If you double your ability, that's a double, okay? Oh, but I have my ETF, it yields 8%. Okay, how about 100%? And yes, for those of you who didn't follow, doubling something is increasing it by 100%. You want the 8%? You want 100%. Oh, the 2,500 is a lot. Yeah, good, but I tripled my income. So, oh, you can't do that. That's too hard. That's the bad industry. Like, who are the people in your environment that are holding you back? Just be aware of it. Start to look. Our CEO and founder at Grant Cardone Canada, Corey George, has this saying that he got from his upbringing, and it's just look. And people have lost that ability. They're so obsessed with their screens. They're so into the media that they fail to just look around them and look for yourself. Oh, I would never do that. I don't think that works. Okay, okay, fair enough. Did you ever read about it? No, I've never read about it, but that doesn't work. Okay, have you ever tried it? Nope, haven't tried it, but I just, Someone told me, CNN or Fox mentioned it. It's not good. Look for yourself, you know. Look around you. Oh yeah, I've been told he's a good guy, you know, generally. Okay, but like, have you lost the ability to trust your gut, your instinct? Here's a hint. When you hang out, so you're trying to figure out, hey, is this a person that I need to get away from or cut out of my life? Wait, after you hang out with them, do you generally feel more self-confident about yourself or less self-confident about yourself? Do you feel more inspired by your goals or less inspired by your goals? Do you look more towards the future or more towards the past? Do you feel tired or do you feel energized? Just look.
Attention all customers flying on JetBlue Flight 1633 with services to JFK. We are currently boarding all groups and all rows. Please report to gate 15 immediately for an on-time departure of your aircraft.
I just realized this
all
has been a
customers on JetBlue Flight
16-minute advertisement for
1633 to
Delta.
gate 15.
Good job, Delta. You got some free exposure. You know, I hung out with my buddy Daniel. Two buddies, Daniel. Well, my buddy Dan and my buddy Daniel. And I hung out with my buddy Daniel. I flew in on the Friday. We hung out Friday night. And he's pursuing his goals and he's killing it in life. He's disciplined. He's got a great relationship. And we help each other. Like, we fire each other up because he's like, dude, check it out. Like, I'm writing my goals down. Like, what you're doing is awesome. You're going to kill it. You're going to make it. Like, dude, so happy for you. And there's a difference between someone's like, oh yeah, I'm happy for you, versus like, hey dude, that's fucking sick. I'm happy for you. Seriously, that's awesome. Because they see the potential in you that they have in themselves, and it fires them up, fires you up. You need people like that, versus if people are like, oh, I don't know if I would do that, they see the lack of potential in themselves. They see the lack of discipline in themselves, the failures, the times that they tried and it didn't work out. Oh, that might not work out. Okay, good. What have you done in your life that didn't work out that you're afraid that I'm going to succeed at that would prove you wrong? So anyway, if you stuck through this entire video, good for you. I hope it's been a valuable 17 minutes and a valuable investment of your time. Subscribe to the channel if you want more stuff like this. I'm not doing a bunch of editing. I'm not doing a bunch of fancy stuff. There's no, you know, oh, let me do a second take. I just riff. Hope it helps people. If you liked it, like it, subscribe. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.